All right. So you heard the news. If you're watching this video, you know all about the Peloton news, how these guys got the nerve to recall every single treadmill. And I'm just kidding. It's all about safety. But yeah, they recalling all the treadmills. So I got to do a video on this because you know how I love Peloton stock. So let's talk about it real quick and let's show you where I think the stock is going. Because remember in my last video, I talked about the Head and Shoulders break, right? And we did break. So what do we do now? But first, let's look more about this recall. What are they exactly going to do? All right, so I'm looking around the web to find more details about this Peloton recall, and what better place to go than the Peloton's website itself, onepeloton.com. And you can see they got the recall of the Tread Plus treadmills after one child death and 70 incidents. Recall of treadmills due to risk of injury. And then right here, you know, they tell you what they're going to do. And basically, consumers who have purchased either treadmill, this is either one, this is the Tread Plus, or even the regular tread, should immediately stop using it and contact Peloton for a full refund or other qualified remedy as described in the press release below. So basically, these guys don't have a fix. They just like, give us a call and we're going to give you a full refund on, doesn't matter what treadmill you got, you're going to get your money back. Now, it didn't say like, are they going to pick up this bike or do you just bike? Are they going to pick up this treadmill? Are you basically getting a free treadmill? I remember I got something recalled from Best Buy. They gave me the money and I got to keep it. They told me to destroy it. I'm like, yeah, right. It was a gaming chair. I was like, yeah, I'll destroy it. I had a free gaming chair. Let's put it that way. Anyway, so do you get the money back and you can still use the treadmill? I don't know. I don't know those details, but that's messed up. So then I was trying to find out how many treadmills did these guys sell? And that information I could not find out, but I do know that they sold way more bikes than they did treadmills. So hopefully it just wasn't like, oh my gosh, we sold like 5 million treadmills and they're going to give all 5 million people $4,000 worth of money. Anyway, but the stock is getting hit pretty hard. So let's look at the stock. All right, so here we go, man. This is Peloton. Wow, and you can see in my other video, I got all lines are still the same, and the last video I did draw the Head and Shoulders that was forming here, right? And I was like, man, this thing is gonna break hard. And I said hard, either down, which it should, because that's a Head and Shoulders, or is it going to be a fake out? And if it is, it will break up hard. And I said, there is no way this is going sideways. It's going to go hard down, and most likely we could follow it. Or if it starts breaking up, we can jump on board and ride the train back up. Now, here we go. Peloton down 13.45%. So just like I said, it's breaking hard. Now, this gray area here is the area where I said I think this is where it's going to go to. If this Head and Shoulders plays out, it should come down to this area here, and you can see you got support. So let's look at the daily. I'm going to pull up the daily and see what we got going on here, because I do kind of worry about the break. I just don't think it's going to be that easy. So that bothers me. Why? Because we got the news today that they recalled the treadmills. There's your event down 13%. But then we got earnings tomorrow. So now there's going to be most likely more details on the recall. You know, the earnings report, the conference call is going to be all about the recall and how much money is this going to cost. Basically, will Peloton be able to pull any good news out? Will the numbers be so strong they could, it just reverses? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen on this one. I really feel that with earnings tomorrow, it's not a perfect break. Now, let's look at the stock and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so I'm looking at the stock, and let me pull up the minute so you can see what's happening minute by minute, and you can see the drop, right? It was actually going up, and then the news came out, bam, bam, and then there's the low of the day, and it's kind of trying to recover. Right now, I'm doing this video basically at 1:30, and I'm looking, let's go back to the daily chart, and you could see the volume here. Right now, the volume is at 58 million shares. The average is 9. So this thing is basically trading almost 7 times the average daily volume, which, maybe it will be that high to break the Head and Shoulders, but that's a lot. And we still got some more trading hours left in the day. Now, look, let me get rid of this circle right here. Look what happened every time we kind of had volume like this. You come over here is the only other time, right? And you can see that washout candle. And then look at the run we had, up 80% from that volume. I mean, that it was crazy. That was like the buy signal for that run. Now, this is a Head and Shoulders, so most people should jump on board and start selling it off. And this is why I worry about that earnings event tomorrow, because basically, will today's action be the low, and then next thing you know, it starts bouncing? I don't know. And you can see right now it did hold, because here's your level of support. I'm going to draw a line right there. It came right. I'm not even on the right line tool. And you can see how it came right to it, right? And it's making a little bounce. But, it still breaks. It's still a break. It's still, you got to wait until the close to see what it looks like. And then maybe we can jump on board to write it down even further. But we have to wait. We just have to wait till this conference call. And that's what got me nervous about playing it further to the downside. Also want to share with you I looked up the put call ratio, right? So here's the put call ratio on Peloton. Actually, a little earlier it was I think 1 point now. Now it was 1.9 put call ratio. Now it's 1.77. Basically, it's the puts are not even trading 2-to-1 or more against the calls. The calls are starting to be bought, right? You would think with this kind of break, this kind of news, the put call ratio will be a little bit more steeper, but it's not. So I don't know if all the believers or non-believers are trying to jump off board. I mean, we might get the new believers trying to get in. This is my chance to finally own some Peloton. Because believe it, and let me tell you, this is bad news, but they will straighten it out, okay? Every company has a recall. Everybody has some kind of recall. They will straighten it out, and maybe this is the price you can get in. You can use this disaster to kind of get in at a low price and ride it up for the once they recover from this. This could be the low basically. Let's go back to the stock, and I want to show you where we absolutely know the price to get in, where we know for sure it is going to move higher. All right, so how do we know when this thing is going to go higher? Well, I always tell you there's two things that you want to do. Well, I'm going to give you that exact price, but I want you to have a good deal as well. So if you believe in Peloton and you want to own Peloton and you're just like, hey, man, I just want to get some Peloton and just start accumulating, this is a good price. I always say if you believe in the stock and you want to own it and you get a sale like this down 13%, you're best to start buying some shares. All right, but if you want to be safe and you only want to buy if you know this thing is going higher, we need to eliminate this bar right here, right? So the high of this bar is 98.8. I'm going to go ahead and round that off to 100 because we know 100 is support. It was support. Now it's resistance. So basically, if we could get a close above that 100, let me clear all of this. Oh, I don't want to clear my Head and Shoulders. All right, I'm clearing it. I'm clearing the Head and Shoulders. Y'all got to see this. Okay, so let's draw the 100, right? There it is. There's our former support, now resistance. If we can get above this candle that had all the bad news associated with it and we close above it, you best believe this stock is going higher. All right, so that's your cue. That's your definite cue to get in. Now, if you want the deal, right, and you want to be a Peloton owner, right now is a pretty good deal, right? And if it goes lower, you could buy more. But the sure deal, the sure bet where we are going higher is when this thing cracks 100 again to the upside. So there's the video. Oh, let me show you one more thing, man. I forgot to show you, and this is, let's go to the, let's look at this Peloton treadmill real quick. All right, so here we are. This is the Wall Street Journal put out report, and I never got a good look at this Peloton Plus treadmill. All right, because remember, it is the Plus treadmill that causes all the problems, but Peloton is going to give you your money, don't matter what treadmill you bought. And that Peloton Plus treadmill is right here. Notice that the treadmill has these individual slats, and Peloton made it that way because each slat gives you a bounce. So basically, it's a very soft ground when you're running. But this thing looks like a chewing machine when it goes around underneath. I mean, I get my fingers cut. This thing will catch anything that's going under there. This is so obvious that this is a possible design flaw. Now, to the right is a typical treadmill, one smooth belt that goes around and around, and you just run on it. And to make the floor soft, you have softening under here. The platform actually has some kind of bounce to it to where it's like soft. Now, the treadmill has been around for what? Oh man, what are we talking? 50 years? I'm just throwing a number out there. Why do we need to redesign the floor, which worked forever and ever and ever? Now you go into you're trying to get too cute. You're just trying to get too cute with it, okay? And I get it. You want to design, you want something different, but you guys needed to just look at this and you watch the floor kind of open and close. That thing is just it's a Pac-Man under there. So I just don't know how they didn't see it. I didn't test it. If I saw this treadmill, I'm like, oh my gosh, that actually looks kind of dangerous. Can you get your finger stuck in there? Can some clothes? It just, whatever goes under there just gets sucked up. And I was wondering why. Hey, treadmills has been around forever. Why is this one sucking up things? And then when I got the close up of it, now I see why. I see why. It makes sense. I'm like, okay, yeah, I think that was just a dumb design flaw. Fire everybody that was on the design team. Anyway, there's the video. I hope you enjoy it. So you know what to do, right? You know what to do. If you want the short trade, just wait for it to get back above 100. If you just want to start buying shares because you believe in Peloton, you can start scooping it up now. If it goes lower, scoop it up later, right? Or just watch to see. Watch, get your bag of popcorn and just watch. But there's the move. And definitely, I think we should wait till earnings tomorrow. All right. So this thing is either going to find a floor tomorrow or it's going to continue lower. And I think if it continues lower, it probably goes a lot lower. We'll actually might reach that. If it continues lower, we might just actually reach that next level of support. So it'll happen like that. So if you think that's going to happen, that we do go lower and the head and shoulders plays out to where we go down the distance from the head to the shoulder back to the downside, maybe you want to buy a put in it, get a little short to stock. But I'm just warning, be careful. That put call ratio, man, the calls, people starting to buy these calls. It looks like as the calls are starting to eat away at the put sales. And then just earnings, so I'm worried about it. This could be the fake out. This could be the bottom today, and maybe everybody's nervous. Remember, this thing is already down. Let's measure that real quick. Yeah, this thing is already down 50% from its high. So, wow, that's crazy. Anyway, this is Dre, man. Dre Trades. Tell me what you're doing with Peloton. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you hate it. Tell me if you think it's going lower. Tell me if you think it's going higher. How can you tell me? Twitter, Instagram, or right here in the comments on the other platforms. This is Dre Trades everywhere. Dre Trades 2 right here on YouTube. And thanks for watching. I appreciate you. You know I love you all. But you got to love me back. You got to like it, hit the bell, do all that. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.